Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video will be seen and shared. Celine Driver once again, coming to you with another unboxing and review of a watch that is technically not my watch. Actually, not technically, it's my father's watch. I bought it for him. But this will be, after I finish with this video, with his blessing, I will bring this watch over to him, size it up for him, and it will be his to wear. At some point, he may or may not get tired of it, and it may or may not end up on my wrist, but that's for him to decide at a later time. This is his watch. This is one of the brand new 43 millimeter Horizon watches. The Horizons have been a very successful watch for Zelos. They started out, if memory serves me correctly, as a GMT in 39 millimeter. They then came out with another set of GMTs, diver version, and a field watch version, which I probably should have picked one up, but I didn't. And then they came out with another set. So this is kind of like the fourth generation of Horizons. This is the first one of the bigger series, a big 43 millimeter version. They came out with 4 colorways. They all sold out within about, I think, less than an hour for all, I think, 400 odd, maybe 500 watches sold out. This one is number 65 of 120. You can see it's packed in the new thinner box. With the new case, which I like. I mean, I've heard plenty of shade thrown at this case for some perverse reason. I can't understand it. I think this is a fine case. It's not the watch roll. Maybe some people miss the watch roll. They don't like change. They like the versatility of a roll. I don't know. I don't particularly find anything wrong with the watch case. It certainly can be very useful for travel. In the pouch here is the standard Zelos metal card, which I won't bother with. And in here we have, still wrapped in its plastic, as you can see. I'm not unwrapping this. I'm leaving that for my father. I mean, his watch. He deserves the honor of unwrapping it, but this is how a Zelos Horizon 43 is going to come to you, all cocooned up in its plastic on the clasp, plastic on the inside of the clasp, plastic all over the place. But this is how the watch will arrive to you. I've already taken it out and set it and have it running, so this is a running watch now. And he chose a colorway which neither he nor I had gone with before, and he chose the Sunburst Burgundy gear shade dial. And I was ambivalent about it myself. I wasn't really sure, but you're seeing it in the metal and in the light. Look at how the light plays off of that dial. Is just fantastic. It really is a nice color. It has sort of a fume look to it. It fades to black as you travel outward on the dial. I'll take this off so that I can rotate the bezel. You can see it rotates very nicely. It's not a traditional looking dive bezel, but it is in fact a dive bezel. And it lines up perfectly, no slop, no kickback. I'll just put the plastic. Now, you know what? I'll leave the plastic off for the video, and as soon as I'm done, I'll put it back on. So because that looked bad. Signed crown, as usual. Signed clasp. I'll just peel this back ever so slightly because, again, a lot of shade was thrown at Elshin, I think unfairly, because the backside of the clasp on some of these was, people were whining that it was a little sharp. This one is not sharp, my friends. Take it easy. You have the most recent type of adjustable clasp where you pull this and you can push-pull this for adjustment. It's really hard to do that right now because it's all wrapped up in plastic. But you can see this thing is adjusted fairly far in at the moment. Bracelet is secured with screws. All the screws appear to be nicely and securely in place. That has happened to me as well as others, where some of these screws have backed themselves out. I've taken to checking this on this situation on all my watches, not just Zelos, but all watches, checking the screws every once in a while with a screwdriver. And I have found, I've even found a couple of screws loose on one of the Rolexes I own. So people are whining again. A lot of whining out there on the Timekeepers group. I just don't understand it. If there's a problem, when has there ever been a problem with a Zelos watch that hasn't been taken care of by Elshin? But I digress. But I found loose screws on some of my more expensive watches, so it's not something that is unique to Zelos. And don't even get me started on friction pins backing out on my Seikos, on my Grand Seiko, or my Glycine, or any other of my watches with bracelets. They all have problems every once in a while. You knock the pin back in, you screw the pin back in, you deal with it. So let's try and all keep it in perspective, folks. Bracelet is one with the quick release on the lugs, so that makes changing this to a strap or a rubber strap or a NATO and putting spring bars in it, that'll be very easy to do as well. It fits the case beautifully. I don't know why you'd want to change this off a strap, but some people do. That I understand. I personally wouldn't, but there you go. I guess we call this a cushion style case. It looks very, very nice. Again, I think this is very high quality finishing. Nothing I haven't seen out of Zelos before. No complaints. The watch came, fired right up, unscrewed very easily. It was already screwed in when I got it. It unscrews, a very, very satisfying and audible pop, and you can feel it in your fingers as well. 2-click, obviously. First click is adjust the date. Second click hacks the movement, as you can see. Allows you to adjust the time. Push it all back in. Goes right back to work. Screw in, engages very easily, very quickly. 2 turns and it's done. Screw down case back with nice artwork of the the flattened globe. Very nice. You can see there the serial number, 60. Whoops, upside down. Sorry. Right there, 65 out of 120. I think the other colorways also were 120, so 4 times 12 is 48. So 480 of these watches across 4 different colorways. They went fairly fast. This was a fairly small run of watches because this is a 43 millimeter case, and I guess Elshin decided, wasn't sure, how well the 43s would sell. I would argue they sold pretty well. Maybe he wants to do another run of these at some point, but that's his company, his decision. If it were me whispering in his ear, I'd say do another run, come up with some different colorways. Meteorites are always popular. Aventurine would be, I think an Aventurine dial in this case would look great. Try some different colors. Maybe an orange with a blue bezel insert. Go Gators. Sorry. Can't help it. College football season. I can't wait for it. Anyway, sheet o' facts time. So you can learn a little bit more about this watch while you... Oh, wait. Before I do that, I got to give you a wrist shot, kind of. I can't obviously size the watch. It's not going to be my watch, so I have to kind of hold it there. But yeah, now it's a little loose for me right there, as you can see, but not too bad. But as you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, on the overhead shot, it fits my wrist beautifully. Cuff shot. Down the barrel. It has very short lug to lug, so a 43, but it doesn't wear like a 43, maybe a little more like a 41. So I'd say you could probably get away with this thing down to about a 6¼ inch wrist, maybe a 6.5. Anything below that, it's probably not going to work. It should fit my dad very nicely, although I am going to have to take out quite a few links. His wrist is smaller than mine, so we'll size it up for him, and then I'll not be able to wear it. But, oh well. It's not my watch, is it? Anyway, as I've said multiple times by now, this is the Zelos Horizon 43mm diver. It is indeed a 43mm case. 49mm on the tip-to-tip. 13mm thick. And a 22mm lug. It is a 200-meter water-resistant watch. It is a dive watch. So when you screw that crown down, it is capable of going scuba diving, snorkeling, swimming, whatever you want. Should not harm the watch at all. Of course, being 316L stainless steel, it should be very tolerant of salt water, although with any watch that goes into salt water, you would absolutely want to rinse it off in fresh water when you're done. Screw down crown as I've demonstrated. The crystal is sapphire. It is inner AR coated. It does have a slight dome to it. It is a very subtle dome, but it is domed. 120 click bezel, which I've already demonstrated, and of course, being a fan of adult fidget spinners like this, I will demonstrate again. It is a bit stiff, but as with most of these, I blew it. As with most new watches that aren't named Rolex, the bezel will loosen up with use. And there you go. And it is a ceramic insert. Loomed, of course. Inside, underneath that beautiful burgundy sunburst dial with the gear shade texture, is a Seiko NH35. And again, I know I've seen it in my comments. I've seen it on Zelos Timekeepers. I've seen it on the Kickstarter group that's run by my friend Neil Cresswell. And I've seen it in other places. People are constantly complaining that Zelos and these other micro brands are using, Miyota movements and Seiko movements. And even though this is a $395 watch, they're screaming about, they're all using these inexpensive Japanese movements, and we're paying premium money for it. I heard that all the time and saw that all the time when that Swordfish Damascus came out, and it was $1,500 or so. And it had a Seiko movement in it. And I did a video about that. If you want to go check it out, I did a video addressing the movement snobs. And what you're going to do when one of those high-end movements goes tango uniform on you, and you have to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars to put the watch back into service. With a Seiko movement, hell, it's almost easier just to order a new movement, transfer all the accoutrements onto the movement and slap it into the watch. So, this thing may be a relatively inexpensive Seiko movement. It may not be reinventing the wheel and all that cliche stuff, but you know what? It's a tank tough movement. It's easy to service. It's easy to adapt to the design that you're working for. And after all, aren't we buying these micro brand watches for their design and their innovation of design and use of materials, and not because they're using a Seiko or a Soletta or a Miyota or what's that other one, a Seagull movement? You know, a movement does not a watch make. Is my last word on that whole thing. So Seiko NH35 movement is going to be tank tough. It's going to be very reliable. It's going to keep excellent time. And that's really all I ask out of it. So I think I'm very envious of my father. He's going to wear this watch. He's going to enjoy the hell out of it, and I'm going to sit there and say, "Gee, that's such a nice watch, Pop." But he's a good dude, and he deserves it. So I'm glad he picked one of these things up, and I'm going to enjoy seeing him enjoy it, because part of the enjoyment of the watch hobby is watching your fellow hobbyists enjoy their timepieces as much as you enjoy yours. So with that, I'm going to wrap the video up, and I'm going to get in my car with my tools. I'm going to drive over, and I'm going to size this up for my father, and I'm going to watch him wear it. If you enjoyed the video, and I certainly hope you did, even the spot I got on my soapbox a little bit, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. A thumbs up does help the channel. It helps to bring new people to the channel by use of the search algorithms with YouTube. And the more thumbs up I get, the better it is for my channel. Comments, questions, and suggestions down below, I do read them all. I do respond to them all. However, if you're going to leave nasty comments, little troll comments, or you're going to leave links in my comments section that take my viewers to bad places on the web, those comments will be deleted, the commenters blocked. If you're new to the channel, of course, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Please partake of as many videos as you want. I have over 450 of them out there for your entertainment. All I ask is that before you leave, please click that subscribe button. And when you do, click the bell icon so that when I do upload more content, you will be alerted when I go live, which I do every Wednesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, which it almost is now. You will be alerted to that, and you can come by. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be careful out there. Stay safe, stay well, stay healthy. I will see you in my next one.